In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to publish your own packages to PyPI.org. The first step is to create a new account. So pause the video, create a new account, make sure to activate it by clicking on the link that they send you, and then come back, continue watching. Next, here on the terminal, we need to install 3 tools globally. So pip or pip3, install, setup tools, wheel, and twine. You will see these in action momentarily. So let's go ahead. All right. Now I'm going to start with a brand new project. Let's say we're going to create a package to work with PDF files. So I'm going to create a new directory, call it Mosh PDF. Now let's go to this directory and open VS Code. Now, as a best practice, we should create a high-level directory with the same name as our package. So I'm going to call that Mosh PDF. Here, potentially, we could have another directory for unit tests. We're going to look at unit tests in the future. Perhaps we could have another top-level directory for some sample data and so on. All our source code will end up here. Now, in this directory, we should add an init file. So Python will see this as a package. Now let's add a couple of modules. So I'm going to add a new file, call that PDF to text.py. Here I'm going to write a basic function like convert. So convert that simply prints PDF to text. Okay, I got this error message, formatter AutoPEP8 is not installed, and I realized that VS Code is still referencing the virtual environment for our previous project. So make sure to change that to the main Python interpreter installed on your machine, because now we're in the context of a completely different project. So let's ignore that. So here's our PDF to text module. We can add another module. Let's say PDF to image.py. Again, here we could have some code. Let's not worry about that. So this is a basic structure for our package. Now, in order to publish this to PyPI, we need to add 3 files here. The most important one is setup.py. So at the root of this project, we add a new file, setup.py. Here on the top, we should import setup tools that we installed earlier. This module has a method called setup. We call this method and pass a few keyword arguments. Here are the essential ones. The first one is name. We should set this to a unique name for our package so it doesn't conflict with another package in PyPI repository. In this demo, I'm going to set this to Mosh PDF. Next one is version. I'm going to set this to version 1.0. We need a long description. For now, I'm going to set this to an empty string. We're going to come back to this in a second. And finally, we need to tell what packages are going to be distributed. Because in this project, currently we have one package that is Mosh PDF. And in this package, we have these 2 modules. So we need to tell setup tools about the modules and packages that we're going to publish. So here we add packages, and we set it to setup tools dot find underline packages. This method will look at our project and automatically discover the packages that we have defined. However, we need to tell it to exclude 2 directories, tests and data, because they don't include source code. So we pass an array here with a couple of strings, tests and data. So this is our setup file. Now we should create a README file. What we put in the README file will be displayed in the homepage of our package on PyPI. So here in the root of the project, let's add README. And by convention, we use all capital for README and then lowercase md, which is short for Markdown. So here we can use the Markdown syntax. For now, I'm just going to go with a simple example. This is the homepage of our project. Save the changes. We also need a license file. So once again, in the root of the project, let's add license. Now, if you head over to choosealicense.com, you can find a basic template for this license file. So let's say you care about sharing improvements. Click that. Here you can see a basic license agreement template. On the top, I'm going to click this button to copy this to clipboard and then paste it into this file. That's our license. Now back to setup.py, we should set this long description to the content of our README file. So on the top, from pathlib, we should import the path class and then create a path object, set it to readme.md, and then call read text. There you go. So here's the final result. Actually, I realized I forgot the keyword argument here. So exclude equals. So we call find packages and tell it to exclude these two directories. Now, let's quickly recap. We added 3 files to our project: a README file, a license file, and a setup.py. Now we need to generate a distribution package, and that's pretty easy. We open up the terminal and run Python setup.py and pass 2 arguments: sdist, which is short for source distribution, and bdist _will, which is short for built distribution. So with this command, we're going to generate 2 distribution packages, a source distribution and a built distribution. Let's go ahead. All right, now here we have 2 new directories, build and dist. In the dist directory, we have a wheel file, which is a built distribution, and a source distribution. Both these are zip files. You can unzip them and see what is inside if you're adventurous. Now that we have these 2 distribution packages, the final step is to upload them to pypi.org. Back in the terminal, we use Twine to do that. So Twine upload dist /*. So we're telling Twine to upload all the files in the dist directory. Let's go ahead. It's asking for my username, so Mosh, and then the password. All right, my package is uploaded to pypi.org. So back here, if we search for Mosh PDF, we can find that here. The current version is version 1. Here on the homepage, we have the content of our README file. So we can easily install this package just like the other packages on PyPI. For example, here in our Hello World project, I'm going to use pipenv to install Mosh PDF. Okay, it's installed here. So on the top, we can import Mosh PDF. You can see Mosh PDF has these 2 modules. So I'm going to import the PDF to text module. So from Mosh PDF, let's import PDF to text. Now we can call PDF to text.convert, run the program, and here's the output. So this verifies that we successfully published a package to PyPI and then installed it and used it.